Good morning. This is going to be my Cancer reading. I wanted to do these videos yesterday, my Aries and Cancer, but I was guided to rest. I was just really energetically wiped out. I slept most of the day yesterday. I went to bed early last night. Woke up at 5 a.m., 4:30 to be exact. So I hope you guys had a good week last week. I'm ready to get right back into my channel where I left off, making videos like I did before. I'm going to go ahead and pull the 6 cards, and I'll pull the clarifiers as I go. And I don't read reversals. My guides and my deck know that I don't read reversals. Alright, the first card that we have is the 5 of Wands, competition. And basically the energy that I'm getting with this is a lot of codependency. I'm feeling very strongly that you know, we have talked about this before, about the codependency and about the toxic relationship that you've been dealing with most of the year. And so I do feel very strongly like you've been trying to walk away from it. The only thing that's really keeping you stuck right now is this whole idea that if you let go, if you walk away, that somebody else is going to take your place. And that you do feel like, a lot of times we feel like when somebody's coming in and they just won't leave me alone. You know, they just love me so much. They just won't leave me alone. We feel like this is love. And two things are going on. You guys are triggering fear of loss in one another. When you walk away from a toxic situation, you have to have the intention that you're doing it for your highest good. You're not doing it to trigger a fearful response in your partner, in your ex-partner. Because when you send that signal out, guess what you're going to get? And they're going to keep coming in, keep coming in. And this is your own fear playing out because you're scared you're going to lose them as well. You know, what if, you know, they replace me with someone else and then they have someone else that they're obsessed with, someone else that they're crazy about, and it's not me. And they no longer love me. And I'm completely rejected. And so, you know, maybe they even have been seeing somebody else and you've been comparing yourself. Well, what the hell? You know, I'm so much better than that person. Why would they be with them? What you need to ask yourself is, what does this person have to offer you? What is it that you're chasing? And you may think that you're not chasing them, but energetically you're still chasing them. You're still holding on. And the reason why you're holding on for dear life is because you are scared of loss. This whole pain and suffering has given you identity. This is where you have drawn your identity from. Your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. What you need to be able to tell yourself is that everything that's happening right now is supposed to be happening. It is as it's supposed to be. Everything is perfect at any given time because it's being divinely guided. And it's here to show you things. So work with the energy instead of against the energy. And what I was saying before is look at this person. Okay, what do they have to offer you? Aren't you so much happier when you're by yourself? And then you get back involved with this person again, get all enmeshed with it. And guess what? You're not happy anymore. Ask yourself why you're doing that. And learn to break that cycle. because it's a cycle that you're stuck in. It's a loop that just keeps replaying, and it has to do with your fear of loss. And that somehow your identity, your validation, everything is tied up in this other person. And you have to get to the point where you can just let it go, because we have the death card. So this whole situation, this whole scenario has been wanting, your soul wants you to walk away from this, to find your own happiness. Because whenever we feel like we need somebody else, it's because we have a void. We feel like we have a void. Now understand, everything that is not your mind is your soul. Your mind is your ego. So learn to really be the observer of your thoughts. And when you have those thoughts, observe them from like a third party point of view, because that is your soul. And that is how you will experience your soul, by stepping outside of your mind and looking. Because this situation here, it's time to let go of it. And in order to let go of it, you have to feel those fears. And this is like any other addiction. You're going to have to detox from it for a while. And sometimes detox involves maybe blocking this person. But do so, don't tell yourself, okay, I'm doing this because I want them to suffer. And don't sit around saying, oh, I know they're just pining over me, and they're miserable, and they're probably crying to everyone that they know, and they're going to see how much that I mean to them. They're going to straighten up. They're going to make the changes I want them to make. They're going to come to me and, my knight in shining armor or whatever, going to come and save me. That's not the right attitude to have. The right attitude to have is, you know what, I'm going to cut this person off for a while so that I can face my own shit. Because I know as long as I'm focused on them, I'm not focused on me and really dealing with my own issues. That is the message that I'm getting with that card. I didn't say it before. This is the Cancer reading. I think I said it. I'm always scared I don't say it. I love my Cancer readings. I love Cancers. Okay, madness, ecstatic ritual, energy release. So the energy that I'm getting is that when you do block, that you tend to your fears tend to go into a frenzy. You kind of go into this frenzy. And it is very scary. It is just like when you end any type of addictive behavior, it's very scary. Because you have to, like I said, it involves facing yourself. There you are, like you're alone with your fears. And you have to face them. And what I have been doing lately is I have taken like my worst fear. And I really faced that shit. I looked at it like, what would happen? Like, this is my worst possible fear. What would happen if this happened? Like, for example, for you, like, what if, this person, you block them, you cut them off, start working on yourself, and they run off with someone else. They have their codependent, toxic, abusive relationship with someone else. And you're like, damn it, why isn't it me? Why can't it be me? Ask yourself why you want that. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I understand, because I've been in many situations like this. And it's crazy. It's insane. It really is. Why do you want to continue hurting yourself over and over again? Face your fears, because you know what? If you start doing your healing, and understand, the soul is whole and complete. The soul does not need healed. I have a different viewpoint on healing. What does need healed, and I'm using air quotes, more or less cleared out, are those self-limiting beliefs, those ideas that you're telling yourself. That's why it's very important to look at them from a third-party point of view, from your soul's point of view. But once you start doing this work and you start, clearing these patterns, these ideas that you have, and really getting real, doing the real work, This person is either A, they're going to shift with you, they're going to make changes, they're going to come around, or B, they're going to be gone. And that's how you'll know. But don't do this for that reason. Do this for yourself. But this madness is, it can make you a little mad in the beginning. You can be a little like insane. Like, damn, like I was saying, like, why can't it be me? You know, why can't he or she be kicking my ass instead of someone else's right now? It's just not fair. I'm so jealous. It's crazy, isn't it? You know, you have to get to the point where you'd be like, fuck it, you know, let he or she be someone else's problem. It just feels so good to be in this peace and this bliss by myself right now. We have the Ace of Swords victory, which I do feel like, you know, you're getting to that point, you know, where you can be like, man, I'm done. I don't give a damn what they do. From this point on, I don't care. All I care about is myself, my own self-growth, my own soul expansion. And really work very hard at being present. And how do you work on being present? You do not worry about the future. Whenever future thoughts come up, tell yourself, no. The only thing that matters right now is just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. This is so important. Because the only thing that you really have is the here and now. But I've been doing this Zen training, which is amazing. But I almost lost my mind the first 2 days. Because what you have to do is whatever activity you're doing, you have to be focused on that activity. Just put your all into it. You know, if you're washing dishes, like I'm learning how not to like put on music or like a YouTube video or something while I'm doing something, because I'm learning to be like completely focused on that, not thinking about other things, but just focused on washing dishes. If whatever I'm doing, I'm focused on that, which I almost went crazy the first couple of days. It sounds really easy. It's not. But try it. Try to like put your focus on what you're doing. And that is how you learn to be Zen. That's one of the first steps. I literally almost lost my mind. I was like, what? No, I can't do it. Okay, we have the oath, the promise, the pledge, and a contract. Make a promise. Make a commitment to yourself. To yourself. Make a pledge to yourself to make you your own focus. I know I'm a very addictive person. Very addictive. And I shift addictions. So like whatever it is that I'm somebody that I get like really obsessed with something. Like for example, I was like, you know, some years ago, this was probably about 7 years ago, I got really into Ancestry.com. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. I was like obsessed with it. Because whatever I get into, I get like really, really into. So I tend to shift addictions. So since I'm working on clearing the last of my codependency that I had, my focus has been exclusively on myself and my ascension and my self-growth, where I'm obsessed with that now. I'm not sure I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know it is what it is, okay? I'm not going to like judge it because, you know, I've said before, we tend to like want to judge things and try to figure things out. And is this good? Is this bad? I would think that, you know, being obsessed with your own self-growth, your own soul expansion there's worse things you could be obsessed with. But make sure that you make your self-focus. Make this your pledge to yourself, your promise to yourself. We have the Four of Cups, boredom. So I do feel like, you know, not only do you have this competition going on where, you know, you're like, I don't want anybody else to have this person. You know, what do they have that I don't? You know, this whole competitiveness, this jealousy, this not wanting someone else to have what you have, even though it sucks, which is crazy. We have the boredom card. Because maybe you get bored, you know, you're used to that drama, that conflict, that it gives you an adrenaline rush. You know, you're addicted to that. You know, that whole I know that they want me because, you know, and that gives me self-worth. You know, I feel like I'm wanted because this person wants me so bad that they'll stalk me and harass me. And, you know, whatever it is that's going on, you know, this conflict that you have going on, you're really addicted to that conflict. And you have to learn a new pattern. This is all about learning a new pattern and learning to be still. Practice being for a while. And how do you do that? By presence. We have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Make sure that you do not assign blame for your feelings for this other person. In spite of what they're doing or not doing, do not control. My neighbors are home. I apologize. Do not contribute your feelings to this person. Own your feelings. In fact, let these feelings that you have be very honest with yourself and try to figure out where they're coming from. What is causing these feelings? And this is going to take a lot of introreflection. And I had even said this in my All Signs video. When you are cutting off somebody, and initially when you go into like this frenzy, which is horrible. Like, trust me, I know it's horrible. Take a moment, take a memory that you had, something that was good, basically take that feeling that you've been chasing, that feeling that you contribute to this person in the very beginning of the relationship, the one that you've been trying to get to. Like, I know it's still in there, you know, and most of the time, these type of relationships, this person sells themselves very well. They sell themselves so well, and they tell you exactly what you want to hear, and you're just like, oh. And then after that, it's just, man, you're just always chasing that high that you had in the beginning. Take that feeling and feel it for yourself. Because you know what? That feeling originated with you. You created that feeling. Feel that feeling again. But stop contributing that feeling to this person. Okay, what was it in the beginning that made you feel good? Did they make you feel accepted and safe and comforted and loved? Okay, now take that feeling and tell yourself, that feeling started with me. So since that feeling started with me, can't I feel that feeling now without that person? Wasn't that person just that catalyst to make me feel that way? Or not make me feel it, but, you know, for me to create that feeling within myself. So since I can create that feeling within myself without the person, guess what? I am whole and complete on my own. I can comfort myself. I can show myself love. I can validate my own self. We have the sun, happiness. Finding that balance within yourself is what is going to give yourself happiness. Really try to be honest. Be very, very honest with yourself. This heart-to-heart conversation is with yourself. Facing your shit. Being still long enough to do that. Stop being bored when you don't have the drama. It's very noisy around my house. Trains. I'm right behind a hospital. There's always helicopters. I love the trains, though. I have noisy neighbors. Music, harmony. You know, so I'm getting for some of you that music is a comfort. Music really helps to calm you, to soothe you. Maybe some of you are musicians. You enjoy singing or playing instruments. Spirit wants you to connect to those things that make you happy. Find a hobby. Find something to focus on right now that is something you can do that makes you happy. Not that someone else needs to come in and do for you. But also with this harmony, I'm getting that you are going to find this happiness and this harmony, this balance, after you clear these cycles. And understand, when you are clearing these cycles and when you are facing your shit, love yourself, flaws and all. You know, tell yourself, you know what, I realize I tend to be a jealous person. I realize I tend to get scared. I realize I have these fears. But you know what, I love myself anyway. I love myself anyway. And that is how you start transmuting these fears into love. Start with yourself. You know, you spent all this time looking at someone else, trying to love them, flaws and all. Why can't you do that for yourself? Love yourself, flaws and all. Stop trying to fix somebody else up. Stop trying to change somebody. Work on yourself. All the energy you were giving to someone else, pull it back. 8 of Wands, travel. Take a trip. Get away for the weekend. This can also mean communication. And basically, the energy that I'm getting is that whole idea of trying to create the conflict or trying to instill that fear out of your own fear. Clear your own fear and you won't feel like you even need the communication anymore. Communication won't even be an issue, whether or not you hear from this person or not. And we have the Twin Flame card. So I'm getting for some of you that you are on a Twin Flame journey. And if this is the case, check out my Twin Flame videos. I'm about to make another one probably Sunday because I have some more downloads, some more clarity. I'm clearing out some things myself. And on the Twin Flame journey, things are not always as they seem. And that's what I was saying about before. If you walk away from this and really work on yourself, if this person keeps coming to you even after you start working on yourself and setting healthy boundaries, then you know you're on a Twin Flame journey. Or you know that, this person is meant for you. This is somebody who is meant for you because you cannot lose what is yours. But don't make that your focus. And so I am showing, with this travel and this communication card, that this could be the outcome of it, that, you do this work and you really face these fears and you get to the point where you're happy and whole and complete on your own. You will magnetize everything. You will magnetize. If it's not this person, it's someone else, someone better. All right, it says, dearest you, there are times when loss is part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to another dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break wide open. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever. Wow. If that didn't correlate with what I just said, that was beautiful. Well, if you would like to have a personal reading, they're $30 right now, and I will include in the description of the video my email. You can get a hold of me. Thank you.